Hello, y'all. Emerald Engine Productions here. I know I've been gone for a while, but I'm back and I'm bringing you a modified Trackmaster custom. So it's 2 in 1. And today that engine is James. So this is my custom James, and I've modified him. So you may remember the James project from a few months ago. This is that James project. But if you didn't remember, I didn't announce it, but I sort of just cancelled the project because it was becoming too hard, and also I had lost the tender, so I couldn't actually finish it. But now I finished it, and it's actually James. This is actually the James Project 2.0, and this is the finished project of the James Project. So we'll start with the body, and then we move on to the tender. So, basically, what I've done is, if you can tell, I've repainted the body in like a darker red. It's got a darker red on the body, so I feel like that's a good thing to have. We also have the boiler band that they're in black. Oh, if you can tell, also I've done the NWR and some I've done this part double barreled lining, little nameplate, NWR on the side, a builder's plate on both sides. The biggest thing you can probably notice is I've gave it a front wheel. So from one of the old trucks I had, I managed to cut it down to size, and I gave it a front wheel that actually managed to work with it, which is pretty nice actually. The face needs to be painting, but NWNO number 5 you can there. Running board is actually black. I've gone for Rail Race Series style basically. The side rods are from Kate. I repainted them to, because the paint was wearing off. It does roll quite well, but over the points, it just gets stuck there. So I need to sand this bit down to try and get that done. But other than that, this is like the finished project. I do like it. I've also made that a bit more bigger. But overall, I do think that this is quite a nice James model. Now let's move on to the tender. Here's the tender. Now the tender is actually a 2009, I believe. Yeah, James tender. So that was quite nice to get. Again, I have done the double lining on the James. I've also done something I haven't done on my other models. I bought some other customs. I'm also gave the number 5 sort of like a black outline, and then the middle is like sort of like goldish kind of color. I've done that. The top has had like a black border around it. I think I did that with Kate. I'm not sure. Although there is one thing I don't really like about it, is that Kate is meant to be a bigger engine, but James's tender is actually bigger than Kate's tender. If you look at that side by side, that shouldn't be right, but I'm okay with it. I don't mind it. But yeah, that's James double lining. I've also gave him some cab doors that is either reinforced with some cobbled, and that's really all I've done with the James. Now, bit of funny story actually. The body is a Trackmaster 2 body. The tender is Trackmaster 1 to tell. So they sort of don't really go together. The colours were a bit off in person, but I feel like I've done quite good with what I've got. So now I actually have a pretty good James model that I can use. Now, there's one thing we all have to do that I know I'm going to do. Here's James! And with that, the James project is finally concluded. There's one thing I've also done. The red coach I have made it to be James's coach. I put the NWR on the side. We painted the roof, and I've put these top bits there in black. I want to get about 3 more of these, But at the moment, this is like my James pack. So, like, you got James himself, and then you also have the coach, which I think will suit them quite well. So, with that out of the way, this is Emerald Engine Productions signing out. Have a good one. Sorry, this is Editor Tommy here. I also forgot, he also shares a lamp with Kate. So he can just plop this like wherever you want, really. And it's like positionable. So yeah, I forgot to mention that, but yeah, bye.